Hello students, welcome back for new video. In today's video we are going to discuss inter-thread communication. What is inter-thread communication? It's a communication between two or more threads for a specific task. See, suppose you are going to conduct a event through a foci. Okay, there will be different committees: food committee, treasurer committee, stage committee, organizing committee. If there is no communication between these committees, so there is no possibility that this event is going to be successful. So if two processes are doing a specific task and they are interrelated to each other, then there need to be a communication between them. Otherwise it will produce a unexpected output. Okay, so to understand this inter-thread communication, we will take a producer consumer problem. What is this producer consumer problem? Actually, here in this, a producer produces a data and consumer will consume the data. Okay, what actually the problem is, we will see through an example. What happens, suppose you have ordered a smartphone on Flipkart or Amazon and they have shipped it through FedEx, but after that you didn't got any tracking information, or they are not updating tracking information. At that time, what we will do, if you are anxious about your mobile phone to arrive, on daily basis you will call to that shipment company or FedEx that it has been arrived or not, it has been arrived or not, it has been arrived or not, right, until you get it. See, the same thing can happen in producer consumer problem. If there is no communication between producer and consumer, at that time producer will produce a data. While producer is producing data, consumer will be in a state querying that data has been produced or not, produced or not, produced or not. Means consumer would waste many CPU cycles while in waited for producer to produce. Okay, same thing can happen at producer side, that while consumer is consuming data, producer can waste more CPU cycles to query that consumer has consumed the data or not, consumer has consumed the data or not, again and again. So it, once the producer was finished, it would start polling again, wasting more CPU cycles, waiting for the consumer to finish, right? If there is no communication between producer and consumer. Suppose we have here a producer, a consumer, a consumer, and producer is dumping a data to, suppose a producer is dumping a data to a queue, a queue. Okay, so here, while producer is producing data, at that time, if there is no communication between producer and consumer, at that time consumer can waste more CPU cycles to query that it has been produced or not, produced or not. So once it is produced, so consumer will consume it. While consumer is consuming, at that time producer will waste more CPU cycles to query that it has been consumed or not, consumed or not, consumed or not, right? So to solve this problem, there are two problems actually. The first problem is this, polling, wasting more CPU cycles, and another one is what, the data will be lost, the product data will be lost. Suppose there is no communication, another problem, suppose there is no communication between producer and consumer. At that time, what happens is here producer will produce a data. Suppose it has produced a data 1, it has produced a data 1, and it has not notified consumer that the 1 has been produced. So there is a possibility that producer will again produce a data 2, a data 2. Suppose the size of queue is, it can hold only one element. So this means the product 1 was not consumed by consumer. Okay, suppose after producing 2, producer give up the monitor. At that time consumer will come into picture and consumer is consuming this product 2, and still it has not notified or not informed producer that consumption has been completed. So this means that in next cycle consumer is again consuming 2, again consuming 2, again consuming 2. Same product is repeatedly consumed, right? Repeatedly consumed. Actually what it should be, actually what it should be, see, it should be like this. It should be like this. Producer has produced a item, suppose number 1, in a queue, it should be consumed by consumer, it should be consumed by consumer, then 2 should be consumed by consumer, then 3 should be consumed by consumer. But here what actually is happening, there is no communication between this producer and consumer. What you are doing is what is happening is one is produced, but there is no communication between producer and consumer, so one is wasted. So producer will produce 2, then there is no communication between producer and consumer, maybe the producer will not give up that method, then it is producing 3. So suddenly producer give up that method, stop producing, then consumer consumes 3. This means 1 and 2 were wasted, right? To solve this problem, first we'll see a program which is having this problem, then we'll see how to solve it. Okay, so a program on page number 243. Here we have a class Q. See, we have a Q which holds the elements. Okay, and this class Q has 2 methods. One method is to get the data. See, get the data will be used by consumer, and another method to put a data will be used by producer. See, put a data will be used by producer. In get, what we are doing is we are just printing that we got this item, we got this 3, okay, we got this 2, or what, we got this 1, okay, and we are returning that element whatever we have got. Input, what we are doing is we are putting that element 1 2 3 onto the screen. Okay, we have put 1, we have put 2, we have put 3. Okay, here before we put, what we are doing is we are taking one local variable, and that local variable we are actually returning, because there is no way that you are just getting n, got n, because if you make this n is a local variable, so its scope will be within this. So this n cannot be used here. That's why when you produce a data, we are initializing that data with an instance variable. Okay, then you are displaying it that we have created this. Then consumer will get that data. Actually this n that you are using is, it's an instance variable, not this local variable. Okay, so we have got the data. Okay, now this is what it actually a class Q, and in this we have 2 methods, get and put, and both are synchronized, okay, synchronized. Now here we will have 2 different classes to create producer thread and consumer thread. Here we have a class producer that implements runnable, then we'll see to it that what it is actually. Okay, now here it is a constructor, this is a constructor which is taking one parameter, actually a object of, it's object of class Q, object of class Q. What happens actually, see, in previous lecture you have studied about synchronized methods. Suppose this is a class Q, okay, it has 2 methods, 2 synchronized methods. One is get and one is put. Okay, and for this class Q, this is the monitor, for this class Q object. So this is a class Q and the object name is suppose Q. Okay, suppose the object name is Q. Okay, so if this producer thread and consumer thread. There are two different threads. If producer thread wants to access this put, so it need to access this put through this monitor. Actually this monitor is assigned to this object. So this means it has to access this put through this queue, okay. While producer is accessing put method through this queue, at that time consumer is not allowed to access get. Consumer is not allowed to access get method through the same object. Understood? Now in reverse, if consumer want to access this get method, the same thing, consumer need to access get method through this object. At that time producer is not allowed to access put, while consumer is accessing get through this object. Understood? Now this here, so that's why in producer as well as in consumer we are having objects of class Q, because both producer and consumer are accessing get and put through the object of class Q. This is the object of class Q, right? Now so you need to take a variable of a class Q. Here you are taking object of a class Q, address of object of a class Q in the constructor. Then you are initializing this address. You are storing this address, whatever you have got now, into a instance variable. See, the local variable and an instance variable both are having same name. So we are initializing this instance variable to this from this local variable. That's why we are attaching here this dot Q. Now you are creating a new thread on the object which has called it, and the thread name is producer. Then you are calling start will call run. What the run is doing actually? Run is initializing one variable to 0, then it is having infinite loop, and it is using put method. We are under producer need to use put method through the object of class Q, which address we have already stored here. Now this Q is not this one, okay, actually this Q is this one, okay. Now see here, put I++, that value we are incrementing, means we are first displaying 0, then 1, then 2, okay. First we are displaying 1, 2, 3, okay. Now 0 is not considered as 0th element, okay. So here we are first displaying 1, okay. Once you have put all the elements, so suppose elements you have put 1, 2, 3, so this program is without inter-thread communication, okay, In consumer, what we are doing is consumer implements are enable same thing, then the same variable you are taking, then consumer constructor you are initializing the queue with the same address, then you are creating a consumer thread, and you are starting it. Start will call run, and you are creating infinite loop, and consumer will call get through the object of queue. Then you are having one class called class PC, which is having main, which is including main. See here you are actually creating a thread. Actually you are creating object of producer class. Whenever you are creating the object of producer class, means you are calling this constructor, and this constructor is creating a thread, and this constructor needs object of class Q as argument. See, we are creating the first object of class Q, then we are providing this as argument. So it stores the address actually, right? Why? Because it has a new keyword. So this address will be passed to the constructor, then this address will be stored passed here, and that address will be stored into the local variable. Then that address is calling put method. The same thing is happening with consumer. Okay, so let me execute this program first. Okay, let me execute this program and show you what is happening. So So it is having infinite loops, so I need to manually stop this program. Say I will manually stop this program. Now if you see here, if you see in the output, see put 0, put 1, put 2, put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. After that it is getting 13, got 13, got 13, got 13, got 13. See, means 0 to 12 products are wasted. What I have shown you actually in the previous, this one example. See, if you have a producer and you have a queue, and if you have a consumer, if producers produce 1, if there is no communication between consumer and producer, then producer will, suppose the size of queue is only one element, so producer will produce 1. If there is no communication producer and consumer, 1 will be wasted and producer will produce 2. Then there is no communication producer and consumer, producer will produce 3. So suppose producer has produced all these element, or it has given the monitor, then consumer come into picture, consumer will get 3. 1 and 2 are wasted. 1 and 2 are wasted. Okay, so the same thing is happening here. See, same thing is happening here. It has wasted up to 12 and it is getting 13 as many times. See, I'm scrolling here, because while you are getting get, there is no possibility that get and put both are contending. See here, get for 13, then put 14, 15, see, put 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, then again 20th put. See, at 20th element you got 20th element, but rest of the elements are wasted, right? To solve this problem we need inter-thread communication, and inter-thread communication will be achieved in Java using 3 methods, and those are wait, notify, notify all. To solve this problem we need to use these 3 methods. And what are these actually? Wait tells the calling thread to give up the monitor and go to sleep until some other thread enters the same monitor and calls notify. Okay, now the same problem with inter-thread communication. With inter-thread communication, here suppose there is a producer and a consumer. They need to access this put and get methods through the object of class Q called Q. Now this problem, remember that this problem is with inter-thread communication. Now, producer is a thread and consumer is a thread, and they are accessing put and get through Q object. Okay, now when producer is using this put method through Q, at that time C will call wait on itself. C will call wait. So it will be in waiting state, or it will be in sleeping state until someone notifies is that the production has complete. So while producer is producing, C will call wait method on its to give up the monitor. See, on it to give up the monitor. Wait tells the calling thread to give up the monitor. Give up the monitor means actually give up this object, okay, give up this object, see, give up this object and go to sleep until some other threads enter the same monitor calls notify. Now it is in a sleep. Producer is producing the item through put method. At that time C is sleeping. Then once the production has completed, producer will notify consumer. See, tells the calling thread to give up the monitor and go to sleep until some thread enters the same monitor and calls notify. Notify wakes up the thread that called wait on the same object. Here C has called wait, so it will notify the consumer, and it will wake up from sleep to running state, and it is going to access get method, while C is consuming data, consumer is consuming data through get. At that time P will call wait. Once consumer has consumed the data, at that time C will notify producer that consumption has, sorry for bad handwriting, notify that producer that consumption has completed, please wake up. So again it will come up from sleep state to running state, and it start producing. At that time consumer goes to waiting state, sleeping state. Then after production it will notify again to consumer, then consumer will wake up, it will get the data. At that time P will be in waiting state. This cycle goes on, no product will be wasted. Okay, we'll first run the program and see the output, then I will explain you the program. Okay, so yeah, manual I will stop it because it is in infinite loop. So here put 0 got 0, put 1 got 1, put 2 got 2, put 3 not put 2. Okay, so it is actually it is a breakfast dish. It is not put 2. Okay, put 2 and got 2, put 3 got 3. Okay, put 4 got 4. Before I explain this program, see there are two scenarios, and those are, there are two threads actually, producer and consumer, right? So in this there is a possibility that producer will run first or consumer will run first, right? If producer runs first, then consumer will run. If consumer run first, after that producer will run. So we'll take this scenario. I will take a scenario where consumer runs first. If consumer runs first, there is no data to consume, right? If consumer runs first, it is going to execute get method, right? So if consumer runs first, it is going to execute get method. Okay, in get method what we are checking, while value set, negation of value set. What is the value of value set? Value set is a variable which is of type boolean. The value of value set is false. Negation of false is true. So while is true means we are going to execute wait. Now the question arises, why this wait is written under try and catch? Because wait throws an interrupted exception that it doesn't handles. Now if there is no data to consume while consumer runs first, means consumer should be in waiting state. If that's why value set is false and negation of value set is true, and that's why the consumer will go into waiting state by executing this. It is not going to execute these methods. Okay, while consumer is in waiting state, who will start running? Producer will start running. Producer is going to use put method. Okay, now producer is checking value set value is false, so it will not call wait, right? So it will not call wait. What it will do, it will initialize the value that you have passed to the put method to an instance variable n that we have already seen in the previous program, and then it is making the value set value to true, then the producer is printing put 0, means first element has been produced. Once it has produced the first element and displayed the message on the screen, it will call notify. What notify will do? See, notify wakes up threads that called wait on the same object. So when consumer runs first, at that time it has called wait, right? So after that producer has come into picture. It check that value set value. It will not call wait state, and it will print that I have produced 0, and it will notify the consumer. When it executes this notify, consumer will wake up. Now both are in wake up state, consumer as well as are in producer. Now producer was running, right, and consumer was waiting, then it was wake up by notify call. There is a possibility that producer will run again or consumer will run again. Consumer will run. Actually we need consumer to run. Suppose consumer to run because we have created element 0 and consumer need to consume it. Suppose producer has executed again, then it is going to execute put. So what is the value set value? Value set value is true. If it is true, it is going to call wait. So there is no question that producer will produce more data. Now if producer is waiting, consumer will execute get method, and consumer will check that value set value is true or not false, because producer has made it to true. True's negation is false, so it will not execute wait. It is going to display got 0, and it is making value set value to false. If it is making value set value to false, then it is executing notify. So both are in now wake up state, producer and consumer. Suppose consumer runs again, but there is no data to consume, right? So consumer runs again. Then what was the value set value? Value set value was false. False becomes true, so it will call wait. So consumer will go into waiting state. Producer will start running. If producer is start running, it is going to execute put. Value set value was false, so it is not going to call wait. Then it is going to put the next element, that is 1. Then it will notify. So this cycle goes on. The rest of the code is same. Producer class, the same thing. Rest of the code for producer class, consumer class, and PC class will be same. Okay, refer it. So this was your inter-thread communication, and it completes your module 4. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can contact me. I think you have my number. You can contact me. Okay, up to next video, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.